Here in my garage, just bought this new Lamborghini here. It's fun to drive up here in the Hollywood Hills. But you know what I like a lot more than materialistic things? Knowledge. Knowledge. Knowledge.
Knowledge. I'm in my garage with my Lambo. I'm kidding. But damn, Tai Lopez is going down as one of the pioneers of the whole influencer space. Some may even say he broke the internet. Some hate his guts. And some even think he's a scam. But today, I say we get to the bottom of this. Some of you may have found him from all the ads he runs. He runs millions and hundreds of ads all over the world. He's known as the guy that preaches reading a book a day he claims to do. And if you ask me, I can't hate on a guy who preaches reading because it's one of the most valuable tools in life. For those of you who don't know Tai Lopez, he's actually a self-help guru that went viral for that Lamborghini video you saw in the beginning of this video. Using that video, he was promoting his first 67 steps course where it taught people how he went from living on a couch to making millions and owning that Lamborghini you see in that video. It's funny to me to even be talking about this guy's video because I still remember the first day that it came out or the first day that it was being marketed. I remember the day like it was just yesterday. I was just a freshman in college and I barely had 200 bucks to my account. I remember I saw his ad and then I fell into the marketing loophole that he had for that ad. Soon enough, he ran a special where he said that he would sell his course for just $1 a video. $67 for the 67 steps course. And I thought that it was a deal. At the time, it was almost all the money that I had. $67 at the time was a lot of money to me. And I didn't even know whether the guy was a scammer or not. But the ad that he played, it worked on me, so I bought the course. There's a reason why I bought the course, and the way I like to think about it is this way. The guy was driving a Lambo. Whether it was his or whether it was rented, it's still expensive to even rent a Lambo. And that's what people don't realize. $1,000 a day to rent a Lambo? For a kid where I come from, that's a lot of money. I'm a kid from the hood where $1,000 is almost like winning the lottery. To me, this guy knew something I didn't, and I wanted to know what that was. Because where I come from the hood, there's not a lot of people who can teach you about success. And at the time when the ad first came out, which was about 8 years ago, there wasn't a lot of online business influencers who would teach anything. And YouTube was barely even a thing. Who could have predicted that this was even going to be a scam? The internet was just beginning. Either way, I knew one thing at that age. I knew that I didn't want that to continue to be my life. I knew that I didn't want to continue living in the hood, and I didn't want to be poor for the rest of my life. And I knew no one in the hood was going to be able to teach me anything about success. So yeah, I bought the course, and it was the very first course I ever bought in my entire life. And to be quite honest with you, I'm glad I did, because it got my brain running where I did want to go out and seek knowledge. And I give this guy credit because he's the reason why I started my whole self-improvement journey. If it wasn't for him, I wouldn't have wanted to start looking for a better life at such an early age. So I owe the guy some credit. Now, was the course worth it? I think that's the reason why you even clicked on this video. So let's get into that. Let's start with the con. First of all, the course has 67 videos and they range from 20 to 30 minutes. So yeah, it's a long course. And to be frank with you, I didn't even finish the course. I got to step 50 and I ended there. Why? Because it started to get repetitive at one point. The second reason why it wasn't so good was because it's beginner friendly, meaning he's not going to teach you the real secrets to becoming rich. All he talks about is the books that he's read and the experiences he's had. Think of it almost like an uncle teaching you about life and the experiences he's had over his lifetime. And hopefully his experiences can teach you something about life. Which, don't get me wrong, it's not a bad thing. But I would have loved to see more besides the man's face. Lastly, the only negative thing that I would say about the course is that a lot of the information on there, you can go to the library and read about it for free there, or you can just simply read and buy books and get all that knowledge. Which is why I'm guessing he pushes reading so much, because it is a valuable tool in life, which a lot of people my age don't like to do. But brings me to the pros of the course, which is going to sound very ironic considering that they sound very similar to the negatives of the course. Yeah, He teaches you everything that he's learned in books, and now you can actually learn a lot of that information for free on YouTube. But this is the way I see things now. Time is the most valuable thing that we have as humans. By having Tai give you the most important ideas of all the books he's read and all the lessons he's had, he saves you time and money to go out and find those valuable lessons yourself. A lot of the lessons that I learned in the course, I still use to this day. Say for example, there's a story he talks about where he's working for a billionaire named Joe, and he's working on his farm, and he forgets to do one task one day, and Joel tells him, Tai, if you don't have it in your mind, then you better have it in your feet. Meaning, most people are going to work with their heads, or they're physically going to put in the work. It's up to you on how you want to do things. You have to think smarter, not harder. That lesson has stuck with me for a really long time when it comes to being lazy and getting things done the right way. And there's a lot of other lessons just like that. Going back to the topic of reading, yeah, I could have gone and read all those books too, but it takes time to read. And at the time that I was just getting the course, I hated reading. In fact, I remember when he said in the beginning of the course that you have to enjoy reading, you have to start learning to pick up a book. And he actually taught me to enjoy reading. Tai is actually the guy who got me to start reading. And ever since then, I've been on a reading machine where I read almost a book a month. I trained my mind to love reading because of this course. In fact, he has a video in the course where he talks about training the mind, where if you want to train your mind to start to enjoy reading, start by just reading 10 pages a day. And that's how I started. I started reading only 10 pages a day, and slowly I started moving up. Now I read for 30 minutes to an hour, and I've read hundreds of books since then. Books that I wouldn't even imagine myself reading at that age. Reading has completely changed my life. I owe a lot of my success to reading, but I'm not gonna stand here and say, oh, if you read, your life is gonna be successful. It doesn't work that way. In fact, it took me a long time to learn the most valuable lesson in every self-help book: taking action. Now I take action every day. I take action the moment I need to take action. For me, I figured that the best way to learn anything is to learn as I go. The lessons in the course do get boring, but the last thing that I want to say about this course is that it got my brain thinking. It got my brain running and starting to believe that there's a possibility for me to achieve the good life. And by the good life, I mean the good life that Tai talks about in all of his videos, meaning being successful in your health, wealth, love, and happiness factors, a concept that was brought into existence by a philosopher named Socrates. And since the day that I've heard Tai mention this in his course, it's now something that I hold truly valuable in my heart. It's what I try to shape my life around, because I truly believe that if you don't have these 4 pillars aligned in your life sucks. Personally, I don't believe that Tai is a scam. He's just a businessman. He found a need in the marketplace and he fulfilled that need. And he did it really perfectly. And I'm not gonna hate on a guy trying to run a business. So is he a scam? I don't believe he is. Why? Because he delivered on a product. If he were to just have made 10 videos and talked about success and gave me some bullshit, then I would have gotten ripped off. But he didn't. He gave me some valuable information, and if you ask me, speaking from experience and getting that information and putting it into place, I got my money's worth. I definitely would have paid $67 knowing that it was going to be the start of my whole self-improvement journey. Because since then, I've spent over $30,000 in courses on just learning new information and gaining new skills. Just the month alone, I spent over $2,500 on an event that I went to in Florida to learn about a new industry that I'm trying to break into. Who would have thought that I would go from paying $67 for a course to now $2,500 for an event? I know 18-year-old me wouldn't even believe everything that I've gone through or the level that I'm at currently. It's still crazy to me to even think about how far I've come. And I owe a lot of my success to Tai and a lot of other influencers who taught me a lot of information and got me those skills that I need to live the life that I'm currently at. Now, would I recommend the 67 Steps course? Yeah, I would. But only if you're a beginner. And if you don't know where to start, if you don't have any discipline and you're just barely starting your whole self-improvement journey, yeah, I would say buy the course. That way it can get your brain thinking of wanting to be better, because a lot of people aren't even thinking of wanting to be better or thinking of their future. Either way, I'm glad that I bought this course, because now that I think about it, $67 compared to all the other lessons that I learned the hard way is nothing compared to that type of money. You have to remember, in this world, if you want to level up, you have to reinvest into yourself. And you can do that many different ways. You can either do it with money or you can do it with time. And at this point in my life, I would rather save time than money. But hopefully you guys found some value in this video. If you did, don't forget to hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and I'll see you guys next time.